The OPPO Reno11 5G series launched earlier in February, and now a new variant is out called the Reno11 F 5G. It will be the most affordable option in the lineup, boasting the same chipset as the vanilla Reno11 5G, but of course, expected to have toned-down specs and features across the board. Hey everyone, Dwayne here from YugaTech, and today we are taking this bad boy for a full review to see what the F variant of the Reno11 has to offer. So, sit tight and hit that intro. I would say F probably means fun because the Reno11 F 5G comes in more fun colorways. The unit we have here is the ocean blue variant that sports a glossy glitter finish on the back panel and is made of plastic material. The design shows off ripples on water, subtly shifting hues as you tilt it. Protruding on the upper left corner is the camera island housing a triple camera system. Unlike the standard Reno11 5G's oval camera module design, the Reno11F features a rectangular layout. The only similarity I could see is the design of its camera rings with gradient outlines that match the color of the phone, just like its higher-end siblings. So as you can see, it's flat on all sides with rounded corners, including the display at the front. The phone is incredibly slim, measuring only 7.54mm in depth and is super light at 177 grams. For input and output ports, we have a microphone, a USB-C port, and a single speaker grim at the bottom. The power button and volume rocker are on the right side. A hybrid SIM card tray is found on the left, and another noise-cancelling microphone up top. While it doesn't have a 3.5mm audio jack, the Reno11 F 5G makes up for it with its IP65 dust resistance and string water splashes. Flipping at the front, the Reno11F features a 6.7-inch Full HD Plus OLED display with slim bezels on the sides, reaching a 93.4 screen-to-body ratio. Additionally, there's a hole punch notch at the top housing its 32-megapixel selfie camera. The phone is HDR10 certified for broader contrast and color range, which makes watching content on this phone more immersive and enjoyable, especially if you watch Netflix that supports HDR10 content. However, my one gripe is it only comes with a mono loudspeaker, considering its tentative price point. Speaking of audio, it is relatively decent and the volume can be maximized up to 300%, which might hurt your ears a bit, but it's quite useful if you happen to be in a very loud environment. The display panel reaches up to 1100 nits of peak brightness, which is decent enough for outdoor use, and a refresh rate of 120Hz for smoother navigation and gameplay. Sandwiched on top is a Panda scratch-resistant glass for an added layer of protection, and a screen protector film comes pre-installed on the screen to boot. OPPO touts the Reno11 F 5G as another one of its portrait expert phones. Just like the regular and Pro variants of the Reno11, and they did not lie. Its triple camera setup consists of a 64-megapixel primary camera complemented by an 8-megapixel ultra-wide, and you guessed it, a 2-megapixel macro lens. Under ample lighting, the Reno11F captures slightly more saturated and brighter photos than usual. Clarity and dynamic range are good. Even on the 8-megapixel ultra-wide lens, the images look sharp. But as I mentioned earlier, the Reno11F tends to make photos appear brighter, making colors pop out more, which helps especially in low lighting conditions. While in portrait mode, we get an aperture slider to add a bokeh effect to the images, and seeing the live feed on the screen initially made me question its image quality due to the harsh and imperfect edges. But the Reno11F somehow corrects them in post-processing. The same applies to selfies, thanks to the 32-megapixel front-facing camera. So, selfies look flat in some cases, but with enough lighting, they can be good and should be ready to post to social media without any further editing. While the video quality isn't its strong suit, the Reno11 F 5G can still capture decent footage in well-lit environments. However, low light performance suffers from noticeable noise and a lack of sharpness. On the bright side, it can shoot up to 4K at 30 frames per second for both the rear and selfie cameras. There is no support for optical image stabilization here, but EIS is enabled by default for 1080p videos. In terms of camera performance, the Reno11 F 5G is more capable as it should be. The Reno11 F 5G runs on Android 14 out of the box, skinned with ColorOS 14. And yes, it's got a ton of bloatware. There are third-party apps and games that come pre-installed on the device, and the launcher even recommends the hot apps and hot games straight onto your home screen. Fortunately, the OS lets you uninstall or disable these unnecessary bloatware if you want to declutter. However, I do appreciate this one app called ORelax, which I presume is a first-party app developed by OPPO that lets you listen to ambient sounds to relax or to get some sleep. Another noteworthy feature is Clear Voice, which automatically filters background noise during calls with supported apps like Google Meet or Zoom. This can be helpful for clearer communication in noisy environments. As for those who enjoy creating personalized avatars, the Omoji feature allows users to design their own emoji characters similar to Apple's Memoji. Another useful feature I found is the file dock, which lets you conveniently copy-paste files through the smart sidebar. I would say ColorOS 14 takes some design cues from iOS with its aquamorphic design language, particularly in the notification panel and some native apps and app folders. While this is not necessarily a negative aspect, I find it inconsistent with some of the Google apps like Phone and Messages app that use Material Design language. This leads to a less cohesive visual experience in my opinion, but at least OPPO doesn't add their own messaging in phone apps anymore, so thumbs up for OPPO for not installing dupes like other OEMs do. Powering the OPPO Reno11 F 5G is the Dimensity 7050, a powerful 6nm class chipset from YugaTech, and no wonder why image post-processing has been great for the portrait shots. Gaming is a breeze with little to no lags on Diablo Immortal with high graphics settings. However, the frame rate is only capped at 30 frames per second for some reason. Of course, for low-demanding titles like Mobile Legends and Asphalt 9, it will do just fine and should be able to get stable frame rates at high to ultra graphics settings. There's also a HyperBoost game engine for optimizing game performance. With this, I can either set the device to low power, balanced, or pro gamer mode for maximum performance. Although, expect its temperatures to rise slightly after several minutes of playing in pro gamer mode. It is configured with up to 8GB of onboard RAM and up to 8GB of extended memory. Our unit comes with 256GB of storage, and fortunately, it's expandable via microSD through the second hybrid SIM slot. For those interested, here are the benchmark scores that we got for the OPPO Reno11 F. For connectivity, the Reno11 F 5G, as the name implies, has 5G capability. But what's interesting is OPPO added a link boost feature to the phone, enhancing its signal transmission and signal reception, all thanks to the phone's 360 antenna design. Beyond 5G, the phone offers the usual suspects: Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2, and NFC. The phone is a marathon runner when it comes to battery life. The 5000 mAh battery easily lasted me over a day on a single charge. In fact, our PC Mark battery test clocked in at an impressive 19 hours and 34 minutes. And if it ever dips low, the 67 watts of Super VOOC technology charges it back to full in about an hour. Speaking of charging, the settings let you enable smart charging, which adjusts the charging pattern based on your habits to slow down battery aging. Plus, there's a stop charging at 80% option, just like on iPhones, to further extend its battery lifespan. To wrap this up, the OPPO Reno11 F 5G might not be the top dog in the pack, but it's one of the playful pups that wags its tails the hardest. Sure, it might not be the most hardcore gamer out there, but it knows how to entertain with smooth performance and an above average battery life. The F might stand for fun, but it also seems to stun for functionality. Bloatware might be a bit of a buzzkill, and the design language might be a tad inconsistent in my opinion, but these are minor gripes in the grand scheme of things. If you're looking for a phone that delivers a solid performance, vibrant visuals, great cameras, and a touch of personality without breaking the bank, the OPPO Reno11 F 5G deserves a spot on your shortlist. Speaking of, we currently don't have the final price for the OPPO Reno11 F 5G, but we'll put it in the comment section when ready and add it to the description below once it's good to go. So, what do you guys think of the OPPO Reno11 F 5G? Is it a cop or a drop? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And again, if you enjoyed this video or found it informative, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to stay updated on our latest videos. Also, don't forget to follow us on our socials on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. And visit us at YugaTech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been Dwayne from YugaTech signing off, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao for now!